Hey, welcome everybody to the Iron Elite Podcast Show with your boy Sarge. Hey man, I got a call this morning from a friend of mine, man. He said, hey man, congratulations, man, on the Jaguars winning this weekend. I said, man, the Jags didn't win this weekend, they ain't play. He said, oh, that's why. Hey man, stop bothering my football team, man. We ain't playing with y'all no more. Man, I'm going through some stuff this year, but we gonna be all right next year. Hey man, but welcome to the Iron Elite Podcast Show, man. And let everybody know we're on this morning. It's a beautiful Monday. We have the couples edition. I got my man Big Frizz and Lil Nat. Let's get ready to go. Let's ride.
I was asked the other day, hey Sarge, why you never play any fast music on your podcast? It's simple. I'm petty.
Harley up, don't truck it up, rev your motors up. If it ain't clean, get your polish up, big sword. You in charge, real king of the south. If you ain't getting y'all don't gotta keep it motorcycle, you dig? Harley up, don't truck it up, rev your motors up. If it ain't clean, get your polish up, big sword. You in charge, real king of the south. If you ain't getting y'all gotta keep it motorcycle, you dig? Slide on my road glide, looking so fly, 20-inch rollback, screaming eagle torque pack. I-10 to the end, it's a known patch. If you ain't a ground pounder, pay attention, fall back. We iron elite boys, no need for hitting switches. We split lanes and hogging lanes, we on a mission. On our way to CA, we 100 deep. Roll the web, y'all the road, run it up, rip it up. Harley up, don't truck it up, rev your motors up. If it ain't clean, get your polish up, big sword. You in charge, real king of the south. If you ain't getting y'all don't gotta keep it motorcycle, you dig? Harley up, don't truck it up, rev your motors up. If it ain't clean, get your polish up, big sword. You in charge, real king of the south. If you ain't getting y'all gotta keep it motorcycle, you dig? I'm outside with it. I scrape the town burning loud when the smoke clear up. You know a Harley did it. I'm real gnarly with it. My ride clean when it bling. I show the lean on the scene to get jiggy with it. No did it get it. I'm well equipped it. My bike side got a side, so you know I'm hit. She dropped it down and split it. Backed it up to shift it. Let me kick a little game to you lames riding around here, giving a set a bad name. It don't matter what you rank or what you claim. When we turn it up, you keep it motorcycling, man. My soul brothers, they roll runners, we rolling deep. When it's time to rally up, it's Black Wall Street. When you see them MCs at the RTE, roll the world down the road, run it up, rip it up. Harley up, don't truck it up, rev your motors up. If it ain't clean, get your polish up, big sword. You in charge, real king of the south. If you ain't getting y'all gotta keep it motorcycle, you dig? Harley up, don't truck it up, rev your motors up. If it ain't clean, get your polish up, big sword. You in charge, real king of the south. If you ain't getting y'all gotta keep it motorcycle, you dig?
But Sarge, why you always gotta talk about motorcycling? Sarge, why you don't never talk about nothing else? Look here, man. If you gonna do all that crying, what the baby gonna do?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you, man. Hopefully everybody's had a great weekend riding your motorcycles all over America, man. But you know what? Let me just say this, man. It doesn't fail, man. I can come in the studio. I can get everything ready. I can get everything prepped, and everything works perfectly. And as soon as you go live, there's always something going on, whether it's a Wi-Fi or something's going on with the software, man. But the devil's not going to win this morning. We're going to get it in, and we're going to talk about this epic ride, I-10 to the end. It was the couples tandem edition, man, with my man Big Frizz and Lil Nat, man. So without further ado, man, we're going to bring them on this morning, and we're going to welcome them to the show. Family, how are you? Good morning.
What up?
Hey, man, let me just tell you, man, I've been on for a whole, 3 minutes, and I done had 25 mistakes already. I'm just saying. But we're going to get it together, man. So everything's going good for you guys? You guys doing well?
Yes, sir.
Right on, man. So you guys are back home, safe and sound. How long have you been home now from your cross-country trip?
A week.
About a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let me ask, does it take normally about 3-4 days just to get it together? Or you pop right into it? Or y'all just pop right on into it. Y'all ready to go, right?
Man, it depends. Like I come back home and I'm usually right back to work. We got back on on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday afternoon, and it was right back to work for me Monday. So
yeah, bro, it ain't happening with me Monday. Yeah, they ain't gonna see me until at least by Tuesday. Sometimes Wednesday, depends on how tough the ride was. 'Cause it just seemed like, I don't know, man. It seemed like with me the first day I'm back, and it's probably just lazy, and I'm just trying to get the clock together. It normally takes me about the second day to say, okay, I got the spirit, I'm ready to rock and roll.
You feel a little sluggish coming back from the West Coast, though, because you, especially depending on how much time you spend over there.
Yeah.
You start to lose that time coming back this way.
Facts. Yeah.
You know, so us getting in early afternoon on Sunday, was able to get some rest for the rest of the afternoon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Had we got back in that night, oh yeah.
Oh man, no kidding. Well, hey, everybody, man, welcome again. Everybody's coming in. I know everybody's moving in. D Bell, man, I appreciate you for being in with us this morning. Breezy does it. Good to see you, my guy. But as you guys come in, man, if you guys could do me a favor and hit the like button as you come in. And we're not going to stay on Facebook too long today. We might be on Facebook about 15, 20 minutes. So if you guys would be so kind, open up a second tab into YouTube, Sarge Life and Motorcycling. The YouTube channel is scrolling at the bottom. So if you guys don't mind, just open up a tab, and we're eventually going to be moving over the show over to YouTube. So this morning, for everybody who's coming in with us, man, we have the couples tandem edition of I-10 to the End. My man Big Frez and Little Net, man. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of riding across the country tandem, man. That means both butts in the same seat. And, man, as you guys can see, they made it back safe and sound. And, oh, by the way, man, nobody got their face scratched out, man. So, obviously, there are a couple who ride together who stay together. Hey, but anyway, man, let me stop, man. I know I'm being immature this morning. But, okay, so have you guys ever done this before?
Cross country? No.
Yeah. I think I've seen you guys before do the Four Corners.
We did.
Y'all did do the Four Corners in
North Carolina together.
North Carolina. Okay. Was that the farthest that you guys rode together as a couple before?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it? Would you say, Lynette, that was good practice for you for this trip?
It was.
Okay.
I don't know how I would have fared just jumping in blind.
And yeah. You'd already had yourself mentally set to say, man, it ain't gonna be that comfortable.
So doing that trip, the Four Corners, North Carolina, prepared her to be out on a bike for multiple days. I mean,
yeah.
All day long.
Yeah, all day long. You know, so getting that in the mind, like, hey, this gonna be that times 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's very good stuff.
What this day is gonna be like on a bike,
mentally, physically.
Okay, we're gonna get into it now. Man, I got questions. I got tons of questions for you guys. So if you guys don't mind, let's do this, man. Let's take a few minutes to introduce yourself to everybody. Tell us a little bit about you.
Go first.
Nope. Fine, you can do it for both.
Hey, so I'm Big Frez. That's my riding name. Ride with Rare Breed Motorcycle Club here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm the owner of Vertex Roofing. You see the sign behind me. I'm a local business owner.
Right on.
Blessed to have my wife work with me.
There we go.
She's been riding with me, man, pretty much since we met as teenagers. So she's been on the BMX bikes with me all the way up to the motorcycle. So I would say our riding tandem come in progression. So it's like, hey,
this is probably the most comfortable tandem ride.
Yeah. Good stuff. So
ordinary people, man, I love to ride. That's all.
Yes. Okay, so are there any kids?
Yes, we got 2 kids. We got a son and a daughter. 16.
Right on. Okay, so we're family for real.
For real.
for real. So quick question for Lynette. Have you been riding? You guys say you've been riding together as teenagers, right? So it's been a minute. It's been a while. Okay. So very good. So here we go. What gives us the idea to say, hey, let's go test ourselves now? Because I'm gonna keep it funky with you now. Big Frizz, he go do crazy stuff on motorcycles. For those who didn't know, I've also had him on a few months ago with him and PJ Breed and Czar and Kodak, and you guys did the. Tell us about that ride that you did real quick, if you don't mind.
We named that one the Ultimate Yonder.
Ultimate Yonder.
It's a ride that we had put together to encompass the four corners of the U.S., across Canada, and then also hit all the major points in Alaska. So we set out to do that. I think the end of May, took us from the end of May to mid or late June.
I tell you, for those that get on my YouTube, I interviewed those guys. I think it's been about 4 months now.
Yeah, back in
maybe
June.
about 4 months that we did a total interview with you guys, man. And for the rest of the world, man, these guys went from North Carolina to Key West, from Key West all the way up 95 from end to end, and then you shot east to west across Canada.
Yeah.
Am I correct? How many provinces did you guys hit? What about?
I believe it was either 7 or 8.
7 or 8 provinces from Canada. So they're going across the Yukon and all the back country, and then you guys went straight up into Alaska to the Dothan Highway. And if you guys get a chance, take a look at that podcast, man, and look at some of the highways and some of the stuff you guys put up with up there, all the way to Prudhoe Bay. hey, dropping motorcycles all in the ground. I mean, all the way up the Prudhoe Bay to the Arctic Ocean, where there's no more highway left, man. So shout out for that. So it's apparent that Frizz, he rides for real. So now on this trip, him and the wife gets along. You guys decide that y'all getting ready to make this cross country ride. Was it your idea, Frizz, or was it yours, Lil Nat, to make this ride?
It was actually mine.
Really? Let's speak on it.
We planned to go to Vegas, and I know he had a goal to meet certain mileage before the end of the year, and I thought, you know what, we might as well just match him up. That way you can get your goal completed and we do it together. It was a goal of ours to go across country anyways at some point, so we might as well.
Okay.
Super, man. She brought it up, and I think after she said it, she was like, hey.
Yeah, like I already knew.
Yeah. Hey, you knew he was going to jump right on it, right?
Right on it.
Okay, let's do it. Before she changed her mind.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's get right into the preparation phase. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna let Lil Nat start this off. So, okay, we got a woman now, and she's on the back of her husband's motorcycle, and obviously there's some packing that we have to do. Okay, because we know we got to have tools on the motorcycle. We know we have to have roadside emergency stuff on the motorcycle. So we know storage is at a premium. So Lil Nat, how did you prepare to pack for this trip? What were some of the things that you talked about with him, and how did you get your mind set to say, I ain't gonna be able to carry much stuff at all?
I waited till the last minute. I tend to do that. And then he packed most of his stuff and left a small area.
Half the bag.
No, it was not. If this is the bag, his took up about that much, and he told me to fit mine here.
Wow.
So I told him,
yeah,
make it equal.
Right.
But we did pack for the trip that we first intended to go on. So halfway through, there were changes, and I know we'll get to that, but certain clothes that we packed for the one trip we couldn't utilize for the remainder of the trip, but it still worked out. But he actually had to educate me on how minimal I had to pack.
Yeah. When you thought you were minimum, you wasn't minimum enough.
I was actually more minimum than him.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
10 outfits later.
10 outfits that were still smaller than his bulky clothing.
Yeah.
But as a woman, you want to pack for the outfits that you're wearing for where you're going.
Okay.
You have to realize, hey, it's not all the glitz and the glamour. You have to pack for riding.
True. Okay. So for a woman, and I'm assuming because I know how we guys do. If we're taking a long trip, we can always, go to Walmart, get extra underwear and socks or whatever, and we throw stuff away if we need to. Is that what a woman does also, or she ain't throwing her stuff away?
Probably not. I know
Probably
in
not.
the back of your mind, hey, I have that option if I need to,
Yeah.
but I'm packing for.
Sarge, the Fruit of the Looms is replacement with Victoria's Secret, bro.
Yeah, we gonna go to Walmart. We gonna get the $6 drawers.
It's
Hey,
needed.
it gotta be sexy.
Again, those Victoria's Secret.
Oh yeah. You ain't throwing them away.
Bulky
throwing
Fruit of the
them away.
Loom.
No.
underwear.
Right there.
Okay. Again, so we're okay. Now she understands she's gotta. Everything's got to be tight. Everything's got to kind of be in the military. We used to call them Ranger rolls. We take all our clothes and we roll everything up really, really tight to get it in there. Is that what you guys did, Freds? Were you just like compacting things and
Sure.
550 cord if you needed it?
So, like she said, she waited to the last minute. When I knew we was going on the trip, I knew how the bike had to be packed, and I told her, I said, "This is the bag we're taking, and both of our things have to fit in here. So pick out what it is that you want to wear, what you're gonna have for the trip or whatever, and then I'll pack my stuff accordingly." Well, it's getting down to like the day prior, and I'm like, all right, so I just put off stuff that I wanted to take with me, and I put it in the bag so she can see the space now that's left. And when she started bringing the items out, it was like we minimized it based off of what looked repetitive. So if you had 2 pairs of black pants, you don't need both of those. Take one out.
Okay.
You had an outfit that you was gonna rock that looked similar to the outfit that you were gonna rock the next day or whatever. Can you swap an item and make it work to where you wear the shirt with this pant and then the pant with that shirt or something? So trying to take out fluff, and then
I think it was the shoes, though.
it was the shoes.
Shoes
Shoes
are
were
bulkier.
an issue too. I knew going from the East Coast to the West Coast, we were gonna have some type of weather difference. So
Yeah.
having the right shoes for where you're gonna be at was gonna be an issue. But I'm cool with one pair of shoes for riding or whatever, and then whatever pair of shoes that I was gonna wear over there, it goes with everything that I had anyway. So
Yeah. I can agree with it. And also, we're looking at the time of year that you guys are riding across. It's October, and it's not. Certain states are not like South Carolina's October or North Carolina's October. It's January. It depends on where you're at in the country. Am I correct?
it is. And I didn't take that into too much consideration. I was like, oh, we down south, we on the East
Wow.
Coast. It's like it's got to be warm over there, just based off of the previous experience of driving or riding through some of those areas. I was like, man, this is extremely hot over there. Ain't no way in heck it's gotten to be colder or do whatever. I was fortunate enough to have one of my club brothers was over on the West Coast the week prior to me going over there, and I picked his brain like, how was the weather where you were at? And he was like, man, it's cold as all get out.
Heck yeah, it is.
So I was like, oh man, all right. So I started thinking about that. And then before I left, I had reached out to the big bro K Solo and asked him, about decent things to see along the way or whatever. And he had put a bug in my ear about certain locations that we had planned on riding through. He was like, you might run into some snow. So I took that with a grain of salt. I'm like, yeah, all right. I know Solo have been to the end of the world and back, so the information that he gave me, I held on to it. And as we went along that trip, it was just like, yeah, what he's saying is going to be actually happening and not just a possibility.
Yeah, to get up on you quick. So did y'all have riding suits or heated suits?
Yeah.
Okay, so that really helps because I'm assuming that the majority of y'all stayed in your riding suits or your heated suits. Am I correct?
About 50-50.
About 50-50?
I don't think we put the suits on until we got. In fact, I don't think we put a suit on until the way back.
We put on the way there. It was about halfway.
About halfway, probably in El Paso. I know for sure I put mine on in El Paso.
Okay. So was part of the packing list heated suits and rain suits, or you had a
Both.
wow?
Oh,
You guys were that's a
yeah. So experience. This goes back to it. So the riding suit is waterproof, resistant, whatever depends
resistant.
on whatever setup you have. I just got hers the couple of days or something like that before we went on the trip, and it was just the regular Cycle Gear brand. You know, the was it the Built or whatever?
I think.
I don't think it was that one, but her gear is different from my gear. My gear is the all encompassing the Gerben.
The girl. Okay.
And I've been wet in that suit before, and it takes a minute for it to dry off. Even though it keeps you dry, the weight of it holding the water is a pain, and then drying it, afterwards was a pain. So I've noticed that you can wear that suit, put a rain suit over top of it. One, it cuts down on the wind that's going to go through whatever mesh material you have, and then also it's going to block the water before it even gets to the suit that's already water resistant. So it's good to have both items.
Yeah. You know what I should have done, man. This is what we're gonna talk about this offline. I'm gonna need you and Retro, man, to do a packing class because you guys are we've been doing the IT&TN now for over 3 years now. 320 something riders, and I've only had 2 tandem couple riders. Now I've had couples go across the TN with separate motorcycles, but actually riding as a team, it's only been 2 that's made it across. And he had I think he had a little bit more advantage than you did because he had
and he got that fly old trailer.
He had the little, what they call it, little trailer behind him. Yeah, you did it. Daniel Boone. You did real for real. Like the Lewis and Clark expedition when you guys went through. So we'll go ahead and move on. Obviously, the packing was strategic. They put it together. They figured it out some way, hook or crook. I'm really kind of taken aback because rain suit, heated suit, extra jeans, extra pair of shoes. And what kind of bike are we rocking with?
It's the Rode Glide.
Rode Glide Special?
Yep.
A Rode Glide Special, man. So now your tour pack, do you have a large King tour pack or you just got the regular
tour pack? Yep.
You got the King tour pack. So you got a little bit extra, more room than a normal tour pack or the medium or the chop tour pack. So that gives you a little bit more. So that helps a little bit. So you guys also, as well, you packed a mini suitcase to go on top of your luggage rack on the tour pack. Am I correct? Okay. Okay. So you were rocking. You made it happen strategically. Okay. So anything else on the packing thing that we need to be aware of? We need to talk to our viewers about.
Women's hygiene bags are greatly larger than men's hygiene bags.
Okay.
Oh man, that was like a case in itself. So I pretty much nixed my hygiene bag and just put my little few items in hers. It's like.
Well, we can put our hygiene bag in a Ziploc bag practically.
We could.
I
put mine in my pockets and it'd been fine.
Yeah, you're right. Tell a woman that, hey, your hygiene gear's got to be this big. I don't know. I don't know how you work that out.
Well, that takes this product, this product. You like this?
Yeah.
You take this. It was like, well, hey.
Yeah. Wow, man! I really wish you guys had pictures of that. I really would like to see. I should have did that. I should have did that at the hotel when we met up. Man, I should say, hey, man, open up your tour pack. Let me just let me take pictures. So okay.
Now I will say, had I planned more in advance, I would have, portioned them smaller or got smaller containers for certain things.
We've done it for other trips, even like outside of the bikes, but being able to have like the different disposable containers that you could take product out of and minimize it. Like I know I'm not going to use this whole container in 4 days or whatever, or a week. I could take just what I'm going to need, and that helps out with space a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Waiting until the last minute, it was just like grabbing the stuff off the shelf. I need this, I need that.
Yeah.
That.
And plus you got to be careful. You got to be careful because you don't want to weight the bike down too much because then that could be issues with the suspension. You know, tires rubbing and that type of stuff. You know, so was that something that did you just kind of wing it, or did you weigh the bike, or said, okay, I think I'm gonna be okay?
I didn't weigh the bike at all. We're not large people.
Yeah.
And, what I've seen a Harley tote before, I knew we was good.
Oh yeah. I've seen guys rock with damn near full size suitcases, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah. Then I've seen the opposite side too, when you can put too much on it. But let's be honest, if you're a guy, you know, 240, 250, you ain't got a lot of wiggle room to be playing with.
Right.
Now, yeah, don't have another 150 pounds worth of gear on that thing. You playing around now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So the typical weight of a Rode Glide is what, about 900 pounds anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 900 pounds, and then you guys probably with the geared equipment, we're probably talking about another 220, about 220 pounds. Is that fair?
I'd say at least 3 and some change.
About 3 and some change. So
per person at the low.
Okay. So no issues. Say coming through some of the rougher roads with bike bottoming out or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay, good to go. So so we got the packing stuff together. So we figured out, and for those that don't know, Frizz and Lynette, you guys did the pleasure part of the trip first. So you went from North Carolina to Vegas. Am I correct?
We didn't end up going to Vegas because of the weather conditions. Had to travel going through Albuquerque. So we just stayed south, and we ended up going. We actually went to Santa Monica.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for a quick reference, when you head west, you took 40 and you eventually dropped down to the 20.
Nah,
Is that what you did?
20. We took 20. Our original plan was to take 20 and then jump up to the 40.
Okay.
Past Memphis area, whatever. I was going to go and chop it up with some of the club brothers up there.
Okay.
But then getting that weather report and stuff, it was like, all right, stay south a little bit longer and shoot up. We were going to shoot up going towards Amarillo once we got over there. And they were like, nah, stay south. So it was like, at this point, our plans to make it to Vegas at a specific time has fluctuated. So it's just like replan that trip. Do we turn back and go back home, or do we just make a trip out of it anyways and go do something?
Okay.
So I was fortunate to have friends and stuff in California. So we just went and visited, did some tourist stuff for a day.
Okay. Well, I wanted to reference that to everybody because, again, October, man, it's hit or miss. You know, going across the country, it can be everything from a 70-degree day to everything to, you know, the low 30s, man. Easy. And sometimes depends on where you're at in elevation, it can actually be snow. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, very much.
Okay. And anything around that 40, man, it's just it's a crapshoot. It really is. I've taken the 40 going through what was that? Gallup, New Mexico. Man, it's cold as heck up in there in June. You know, you hit that at the wrong time of morning or night, it is cold as heck. But anyway, okay, so we'll take it from Santa Monica Pier. So at this point, because we diverted from the 40, and now Sarge is happy because now I got people getting ready to ride the 10 for me for selfish reasons because that's my get down. So you guys take it from there. I think what you hung out in Santa Monica for a while, and then you took off that morning.
We stayed in Santa Monica 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I had sent you a picture or text the night we had got there. It was like, guess where we at? You know.
I remember.
I was dropping little hints on with her, like, hey, we could do this ride on the way back.
Right.
It's gonna put us out of the way just slightly.
Yeah.
Supposed to take a 20 and coming back to the house. So it was like, but shoot, we already over here. We got to go back to the East Coast. what's another 5 hours, So
Yeah.
she was cool with it. She was like, let's do it. So I hit you up the morning that we were gonna leave. Say we pulling out. We doing your 10.
Yeah. Hey, if it had been anybody else, I would have been kind of tripping. But when I got the text from you, I go, he crazy like that. He'll do that kind of stuff. So we okay. So we get ready to hit this 10 now. Going across the 10 again for the viewers that's in here with us today. The 10 is if you don't make no turns, no exits, no nothing from Santa Monica Pier to 643 Stockton Street is about 24.90, give or take a mile or two. But obviously, for the most part, most of the time when you're doing that ride across, you're probably closing in to more like 2,600 miles one way. And that's if you're not doing a whole lot of extra stuff. So with that being said, now, folks, do we have a strategy? Are we looking to do 300 miles a day, 600 miles a day, a thou wow? What's our strategy for our legs going across the country?
My goal was to make it back to the house no more than 4 days, like to my doorstep. So that'd be breaking the trip up really from coast to coast in 3 days, and then that fourth day was from Florida back up to North Carolina.
If my math is math, and I'm thinking close to 3,200 miles.
I didn't break it down. I'm not sure. I know our total trip we did, I think, 5,600.
No, that's round trip. But I'm talking about going this to one leg from.
Just one leg. I don't know. I didn't set my
Yeah.
my tachometer back to see, but it's probably close to that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about 20 something. That's another 3.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
and you probably did more. So okay, so Lil Nat, we know we got 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
The husband, we got a plan 4 days. What's the longest you've ever rode on the back of the bike in just one leg of a trip? What's the longest you've ever done and felt comfortable?
That's the wrenching that felt comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. Let me throw comfortable out of it.
It was what, 12 hours? Or you mean
It could be hours or miles.
About 12 hours.
12 hours
About 12 hours.
per day? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for you guys, you think Frizz, what, 12 hours? What?
Just
700
under.
miles? 800 miles? 700?
7 or 8. Yeah.
But okay.
Our average day was no less than 7. I think our shortest day was the second day. It might have been the first or the second day. I think it was the second day from El Paso to Houston.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. D-Bell, help me out. How many miles is that? Let me get it off my mind. I can't.
I want to say it's like 740, 700, 750 miles.
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere close to that. Cause
The other 2 legs were like just at or above 800.
yeah. So coming from Santa Monica, let's take it from Santa Monica to because I think your first stop y'all did Santa Monica to El Paso. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. What was the weather like that time of year?
All over the place.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So leaving Santa Monica, sweater weather with a liner underneath,
Mm-hmm.
right? With the hot wire liner,
Mm-hmm.
not plugged in. It was okay to be, what I'm saying, it was decent like that. Probably midday, you were coming out of everything.
Yeah, pretty warm. Yeah.
Long sleeve shirt. By the time we got to Phoenix, I think it was 80 degrees.
84.
Yeah.
So from Phoenix to probably the border of New Mexico, it was cool to be in just like a long sleeve shirt. By the time we got into New Mexico, it was like, all right, start putting on the sweater.
The moment the sun goes down
Yeah,
in New Mexico,
It was a
it's
wrap.
cold. It's in the 40s.
Mhm.
It was in the 40s. both times, there and back.
Yeah, that desert will light you up in the daytime, and it'll freeze you behind in the wintertime.
Well,
Yeah. So okay, so I forgot to ask you guys, did y'all do any lane splitting
Yes.
on the bike together?
We did.
Well, Nat, what you thought about that lane splitting stuff?
So he told me how excited he was to do the lane splitting in California.
oh, can't
Previous
stand
trips.
sitting in traffic.
Everybody moves for you. Nobody moved. There were some
Sometimes they
people
don't. Yeah, sometimes they
like
don't.
they were- So I just kind of close my eyes at certain points because I'm like, if I
Yeah.
see it and I react, it could make it worse. So let me just close my eyes and trust he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He
You know,
does. When
You know,
you're
I can only imagine the first couple times I did it. You know, you just got to get in your mindset, hit the throttle and go.
yeah.
That's it.
You know, hit the throttle and go. You can't think about what could happen
Mm-hmm.
because you'll mess yourself up. But I can imagine having my wife on the back, and my wife is pretty brave when she's riding with me. She takes it like that. She say, "Hey, look, whatever gonna happen to him gonna happen to me, and we just gonna go with it." But just to think that, okay, like I got the wife on the back, and golly, man, I got to hit this thing. Was it anything that you thought about twice, Fred? Or you like, man, we getting in, we getting out?
Now we getting in, we getting out. You know,
The same
Yeah.
way he rides individually, he rides with me for the most part. I
Yeah.
understand there's weight
Okay.
differences that he may have to
Okay.
account for while he's riding with me on it, but he's
Right.
gonna ride the way he wants to ride.
I'll take less chances though on stuff that's questionable, riding maneuvers or something like that when she's on it, as opposed to riding.
Yeah. As you're speaking about maybe going around curves and those type of things.
Going around curves, and traversing different obstacles,
Yeah.
jumping in a lane or out of a lane in certain ways. Things change when you have to pass me on the bike, but at the same token, my riding style is it's still the same.
Do you guys talk about before any ride, say, and I know you've been riding a long time, so I'm sure some things are you just know now, but say for instance, if there's an obstacle on the road, how do you react? Or if you lean a certain way that, you guys talk about how you lean or how you're going to deal with things, or if I have to hit the brakes hard, or even if, God forbid, if I got to put the bike off the road into the grass, do you guys talk about a strategy? How do we fall? How do we prepare if I have to put the bike down somewhere?
We haven't discussed that in a while. I think I kind of nipped that in the bud back in my sports bike riding days. There are instances when we would be cornering or whatever, and she'd lean against me or whatnot. And really, once I got her to understand, hey, just be one with the bike, stay neutral with the bike. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let me move how I'm going to move. As long as you stay neutral with the bike, I'm
We're
fine.
Gonna be okay.
I don't
Yeah.
have any extra, saying correcting maneuvers or anything like that. But as long as she's cool and comfortable and stays one with the bike, my ride's
You're
easy.
okay. Yeah. And I just wanted to bring that up to our guests because obviously those are things that you need to know about. This couple, you guys are very experienced riding together, so those are things that you don't have to speak about a lot. But if you're starting off new with this stuff, these are things that the tandem rider really needs to know. Just like he spoke about, being one with the bike, trying to be neutral. Don't be a equal and opposite force.
Yeah.
If I'm leaning left, you want to lean right. I don't know. No, we got to lean together. We got to do everything together. So, okay, so we're rocking and rolling. Let's talk about, as a tandem ride, let's talk about what is our length on the bike? Are we rocking on the road glide? Are we rocking 150 miles to a tank, or is it a little bit less now because we're carrying more weight? Or what was your strategy on that?
Man, surprisingly, none of that really changed too much. We were able to make just at or under 200 miles a tank. So for comfort's sake, we stopped. Love's gas station or Pilot's gas stations are spread out to the
Right.
point where you can go tank to tank almost.
Every 100 miles, am I correct?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did my best to stop at like Love's or the
A
Flying
major
J,
stop.
pilots and stuff like that. Uh, with stretching the tank out as far as possible. So now, if I was going to get to the next Love's within 100 miles, then the next one isn't for another 110 miles or something, I can only go 90. Then I'm going to stop there, or I'm going to pick a gas station in between that I'm comfortable with going to, and stretch that whole tank out as far as possible.
Did you pick a major stop? I mean, a major station like a Love's for a particular reason? Maybe for a little net, you gave a little bit more.
Fuel,
What's that now?
quality of fuel.
Quality of fuel. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That, and then the facilities themselves.
Okay.
They
That's
have
what I was.
those established rest areas and stuff. Decent spots for layovers if you're going to grab something for like food and stuff like that. Typically, Love's or those truck stops are going to have more amenities in them than your
Yeah.
Shell or Chevrons that you'll find periodically throughout.
Yeah. So the gas station stop, what do you guys average say as a now I know in an MC sometimes gas and go ain't quite gas and go. Sometimes you got to spend a little extra time on a potato chip aisle. You got to smoke on one and eat a sandwich. So for you guys, is it like, we're going to stop, we're going to take our time, we're going to do whatever we're going to do, or did you have a schedule like, hey, we got to get it and go?
I don't think it was scheduled, but when we would stop, there were certain stops that, hey, we're going to spend a little bit longer, or hey, this one we're just grabbing gas and we're going. You don't even have to get off the bike. We try to have bathroom breaks same time. So if we're going to go to the bathroom, or one of us has to go to the bathroom, we both should go to the bathroom. That way, the amount of time we're staying at a gas station is minimal. So if we both need to go, let's have this as the longer break versus all of the stops taking place longer than they would have if we just did.
Okay. Do you guys so how's your eating plan, eating and hydrating? Do y'all eat as y'all go, or do y'all say, hey, after a certain amount of miles, we're going to stop at a restaurant and we're going to eat or something like that?
We would. There were times that we would say, hey, we're going to stop and eat, and then, hey, you know what? We'll wait till we stop in a few hours. Are you okay to wait? I'm fine. We're good. Let's just have the snack really quick and keep moving.
Okay. Hey, D Bell say, hey man, Love's got them clean bathrooms, man. You can't be messing around in some of these gas stations.
I promise.
Hey, what's that?
I said, I promise you.
Hey, bruh. Hey, some of these gas stations are nasty. Hey, okay. So the first day again, Cali to El Paso. Any issues? Anything that we need to know about in particular on that stretch of highway, other than this time of year, cold nights and hot days?
Just outside of El Paso, like coming into El Paso from Cali direction, they have some construction going on. That was our first detour we had to take. GPS had picked it up obviously long ways out, so I was trying to reroute me to go around El Paso, like half of the city or whatever. But I was able to take it all the way up to where the actual detour was, and it put us off the 10, maybe a mile or two. That was kind of sketchy, being that close to the border, and towards the border. I was like, are we gonna see?
And you see a bunch of people running across the highway.
Right.
Hey, let me stop before I get myself in trouble.
So, but even with that, traffic got real crazy. Like it was backed up for a minute. I ended up actually skirting the shoulder, and bypassed most of it. And then what the detour was, it literally was probably 4 or 5 exits from actually getting into El Paso city limits. But it was a quick detour. We got off, went down the road probably about 2-3 blocks, made a left turn, went down about a mile or two, and then it came right back up to the expressway. So,
man, I call El Paso the concrete jungle, man. They got so much construction going on in El Paso coming in from the west. Was there still a lot of construction and
Yeah.
a lot of stuff? And
Overpasses and yeah.
yeah. And then on the right hand side, you got the whole Juarez sitting over there.
The whole
It's busy. It's busy. It is busy. Wow. So, there's a place from El Paso. Let's take from El Paso to San Antonio. We refer to it, the IT and the N alumni. We refer to that stretch of highway as the gauntlet. And we call it the gauntlet because that exacerbates, if something goes wrong, it multiplies it times 10 because nothing around. Gas stations are few and far between. There's a lot of distance, and it's rural. There's no, in this particular case, again, for our viewers, in this particular case, once you get past El Paso, there is no Harley Davidson dealership until you get into San Antonio. And I'm pretty sure that's probably pretty close to the same situation with Honda, Polaris, and anything like that. So doing that stretch of highway, what was y'all's strategy going through there? Because obviously, we can't play around up in here.
My biggest thing was just making sure that the tires were good. I had an issue on one of my previous trips coming across the 10 where my tires got ate up really good in Arizona. So that was one thing that I monitored more on this trip. Just checking the wear of the tires and being cognizant of where I'm riding on the road or whatever. Staying off like the rough road and staying in like the 18-wheelers tracks, because going through Texas, left lane is for passing only. So you've got more wear in the road on the right lane where you can actually see like where the tires of the vehicles have smoothed it out. So I'm trying to stay in stuff like that, being considered and staying in like tire marks and stuff like that. So the rubber of the tires isn't getting ate up on the rough gravel portion as much. Other than that, and then making sure you hit those fuel stops or seeing that those fuel stops are open, was fortunate enough. This was the first time I actually went through that portion during the day. Last time I came through there, it was nighttime. So it's like you had to make sure that you went to those lows. So it was, you're stopping at the tank and filling up. As opposed to, okay, it's daytime now. So if I pass this one and I'm not able to make it to the next one, at least the little town in between, those gas stations should be open.
Yeah, you can screw that up quick if you ain't careful. You really can. Were you running still? Were you going tank to tank through that area, or were you saying, you know what, a half a tank? You were going tank to tank? You're a bad boy.
Just because it was daytime. If it was nighttime, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Do you use something like iExit for gas stops or something like that, or you just time it on?
And then just Google Maps, adding a stop.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Fred's a little bit different than the average rider. You average riders going through that area, you better go half a tank, because if you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna be a long day for you. If you experience on that 10, what's that now?
You have to keep checking it. If you're using the iExit or even the Google Maps to get you to a specific gas stop, the mileage, you have to go back and recheck the distance from that gas stop, as opposed to when you first checked it, because how you run it and that elevation changes how much fuel consumption you have.
Yes, sir.
When you first check, okay, from where I'm at to this gas stop, I've got 70 miles. And then you check it again in 50 miles or whatever, you should have that 20 left. But now it's saying, okay, this is still 30 miles away or whatever. So it's like the fuel and that time and fuel ratio ain't equaling to that distance. So rechecking and checking and make sure that you got another gas stop in between that, just in case you're not able to make that first one that you want to go to.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this also, again, and I try to be very transparent on the show. Frizz is an expert ground pounder, man. He's a little bit different kind of cat. Him, D-Bell, some of the cats that's on here, they're a little bit different. But if this ain't something that you got experience with, especially going through that stretch of the highway like we discussed. Also, a good app to have is the iExit app. You've seen that he uses that also to cross-reference, because you can get yourself in a lot of trouble back there with gas stops if you don't really know what you're doing. Again, you can get back there sometimes in that area and they can run out of petrol. I've been back there before at a gas station and I pulled in and they had everything. They only had diesel. So it can get weird sometimes back there. So, okay. So, you did say something that got my attention as well. Obviously, with the conditions of the road, again, having two people on the bike and the bike has gear on it, watching the tire tread and stuff. Tire pressure also, was that something that you paid very close attention to as well?
Slightly.
Okay.
Slightly. This time of year, not as much as I would have if it was hotter out.
Yeah.
When it's hotter out, man, that rubber eats up different.
It'll light up like a helium balloon, doesn't it?
So making sure you have the right pressure for whatever weight you have on there is, I think, a little bit more important.
Yes.
Summer months as opposed to your winter months. I like to run a little bit lower of a tire pressure just because I like the extra grip.
Right. Okay.
But doing that in the summertime could prove to be detrimental.
Yeah, we've heard the horror stories. Yeah, you got to be on that. So, okay, so we push on, and let's talk about. And Lilette, forgive me. Is there anything particular, maybe during that stretch of road, that you notice, or anything that you want to expand upon? I know ain't nothing out there.
People in all the mountains.
Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah. Just desert and a bunch of stuff. Do you guys also use intercom systems or Bluetooth together? Okay. So it makes it pretty easy to be able to communicate with each other and that type of stuff.
For the most part, if we're listening to music, we can't communicate that way. But if we need to, I might just tap the side of his helmet and he'll know to switch it back off to intercom.
What kind of Bluetooth do you guys use?
I'm using a Cardo Pack Talk. It could be user error too. I know we had it. There's different ways you can link the devices, Bluetooth or like the intercom system and stuff like that, or bridging. I had changed helmets a while back, and when I separated devices from each other or whatever, I never paired it back the same way. So switching between when we can talk and when we can listen to music together or whatever was a little bit of an annoyance on this trip. But again, like I said, it could just be user error. I'm sure there's devices out there where you could listen to music together in the headset as well as talk at the same time. I just didn't do it this trip.
I'm not familiar with it, but D-Bell, talk to me. D-Bell got about 15 different Bluetooths, man.
Yeah.
He like my Bluetooth consultant. Now, I know for Pack Talk, I enjoy Pack Talk for the music. I don't think the telephone side of it is that great. I think the Cena is a little bit better for the telephone side, but I know Pack Talk is really, really good for music.
I've never used these. I don't know the comparisons.
Yeah.
On the plugin, I know a lot of the guys they swear by the plugin. I've never used that either. Pack Talk's the only headset that I've ever used.
Yeah, the plugin is. I've got a plug-in for the limited. They come standard on the Harley bike. The only thing is, obviously, when you stop at a gas station stop, you got to unplug the thing, though. So you don't really have that. But it is what it is. The 6 1/2 doesn't any other. At least you ain't charging it back up. So for you guys' Pack Talk, how long did you guys get? Will you get 10 hours, 12 hours out of those of continuous play?
Typically, it lasted the whole trip. If anything, mine would die because the main operator, like switching back and utilizing the phone and being on calls and doing everything like that, it wore my headset down a little bit more. It's done it on previous rides, and what I've done to mitigate that was just keep it plugged in. You plug it into the cigarette lighter and keep it charged or whatever, and still allow you to use it. I just didn't do it on this time because by the time it was dying, we were usually getting ready to be at our destination within an hour. So talking didn't really necessarily have to happen.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's take it from anything particular in San Antonio that we need to talk about.
San Antonio's got some construction going on as well right now. I don't remember exactly where it was. It was just outside of city limits as well.
Yeah, I think so. On the western side or the east? I think it's on the western side,
On
isn't
the
it?
western side, yeah, on the western
Yeah.
side, I think they're redoing a bridge or something. They
Mhm.
had some big old long beams out there, and the traffic was backed
It was
up.
bumper to
There
bumper.
was bumper to bumper, yeah. But again, I skirted the shoulder, man.
Mhm.
I said,
Do what you had to do.
yeah, I
Hey,
played.
I'm gonna do it, man. I prefer.
I didn't know you couldn't do that
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, heck, no, you can't.
I think it saved us about 45 minutes.
Hey, but if I get stopped, I'm gonna play it off, man.
I'll play it off. I didn't know you could do that
Because
here.
I much prefer to pay for a ticket, man, than burn up a clutch. Or I ain't sitting out there all day.
Especially when you got somebody on the back.
Yes, sir, man. And it's brutal. You know, you sitting there, you playing gas, clutch, brake, man. You got carpal tunnel by the time you get through that kind of stuff. So, okay, so let's talk about day runs. So if we do, not a day run, I'm sorry. So when we finish a leg at the end of the day, do we decide as a couple, hey man, we're gonna get a certain amount of sleep, and then we're gonna pull off at a certain time? Is it a mandatory 8 or is it mandatory 6? What do you guys do on things like that?
Really didn't. I don't think there was a set plan or anything like that. I think it was just a goal of, hey, we want to go from point A to point B by a specific time. So it's like, hey, no matter what time we get in tonight, we know we got to do this tomorrow. So if we leave at this time, theoretically, it's going to take us to this time to get here. So how much time do you need, or do you want to rest to make this happen? Or are you comfortable with pushing that time? So if we leave, let's say, for instance, if we leave El Paso by 7, we can get to Houston that following evening by 8:30, 9 o'clock. If all gas stops and everything go as planned and no breakdowns. Well, you cool with getting there at that time? Yeah, all right. Well, if anything changes in between time, we take longer at a gas stop. Just know that's going to push our arrival time later. That's going to affect that sleep that you did for that night to go do the same thing the next day.
True.
I think we did good to stay within a time frame that we were never on the road past like 10 or 11 o'clock in the evening, which our typical sleeping pattern anyways, we're not sleeping in bed or doing anything until about midnight anyway. So as long as we got to a hotel by 10, 11 o'clock and we're ready to pass out by midnight, we could be up at 6 o'clock and hit the road, and do it again.
You know, I thought about that. You answered my question. How long do you stay on the road, at night? Because, obviously there's some more situations because of a breakdown or whatever, you don't want to put yourself out there in harm's way, being out there too late if something goes wrong. So, but 10 o'clock is normally what y'all's cutoff time, and we're done. Okay.
Yeah. And then again, your area is going to dictate that too.
True.
With me being a breed, I'm fortunate to have brothers all over the place, so I would chance and stay out later more from the Midwest to the East Coast than I would from the Midwest to the West Coast.
Yeah.
The location of, certain individuals. I know
Facts.
stuff that happens to my bike between San Antonio and Houston, or Houston and Florida, or whatever. I pick one.
Hey, man, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Man, them breeds get on my nerves. It'd be every day I'm wearing. Hey,
all over the place.
Hey, man, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. When of course, I go across every year to certify the route, and I'm telling you, it's very rare that I get on the road and I don't run across a breed. Very rare. Yeah. I see them jokers out everywhere. I be wondering if they got jobs, man. Y'all always on the damn highway, man. Get your butt. do your thing. But shout out to them, man. It's a lot of support on out there on the I-10. A lot of good Red Reef folks, a lot of I-10 to the end alumni that are out there like Reef and Low Key, Carl's, a lot of folks out there, Becky Tart, a lot of folks out there that are patrolling that I-10, man, to be able to give assistance. So, okay, so we'll take it and let's take it. Anything in Houston we need to know about? Anything from Houston to, let's take it to New Orleans.
No, last time, so I was expecting to have issues with construction in Houston, between Houston and Louisiana, because back in February when I did it with Pat, that was one of the little choke
Round Baytown.
Surprisingly, that was nothing. It was just really a little lane diversion. But the construction seems to be going pretty smoothly over there, and the flow of traffic was fine. No issues. No issues.
Okay. So at this point, so Lynette, we still having fun. We're still doing our thing, because at this point you've been riding. You've been riding now. This is as far as you've ever rode in your whole entire life. How you feeling? Are you starting to feel real confident about what's going on? You're a gangster now?
It didn't, to be honest, it didn't feel like it was that far. Like I was expecting to be just worn out and I'm never doing this again. But no, it really wasn't as bad as I anticipated it to be.
Mm-hmm. So you're, hey, by the way, shout out to K Solo, man, riding with K Solo, the podcast with Logic, man. He's on with us this morning. Motorcycle Royalty does his thing. And if you haven't done it already, check out my man podcast. He's bringing in all those unsung heroes in the motorcycle riding community, man. So shout out to him this morning. So, okay, so back to you, Lynette, one more time. It's pretty obvious that you're mentally strong because you got a pain tolerance. Yeah. Tell everybody now, it ain't what we think it is sitting on that seat that long. Am I correct?
No, it's not. Even if you have the nicest seat, you still have to do some adjustments. Mm-hmm. Knees will hurt, your butt will hurt, your back will hurt, my head. Being in that helmet.
The helmet, yes.
At the end of the night, taking it off, it's buzzing. Mm. It kind of felt like I was on a plane all day. Mm.
Do you use slip-ons, Frizz? You got slip-ons?
No, I've got a full system.
What do you got?
D&D.
No wonder. Man, she gotta have earbuds. She gotta have earbuds. Yeah, you gotta have earplugs in. Yeah, because you can do that with D&D. Well, let me put it this way: tabs, D&Ds, maybe some of the Vance and Hines, because you're riding so long on that bike, and that's all. Every time he throttles down, that's all you getting. Wow. And what did your hearing feel like? It sounded like you were hearing sirens, right?
Not really sirens, just buzzing.
Just buzzing. Okay. Mm-hmm. I learned the hard way. I was hearing sirens by the time I ended up getting to Stockton, Sacramento, California, and it was like I had to be schooled. I think Reef was the one that told me, "Hey man, you ain't wearing no hearing protection, are you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a point in the ride where she had complained about the noise or her ears bothering her. So I think what I told you, put their ear pods in and put it on the noise cancellation. Mm-hmm. How did that work out for you?
I feel like it worked, but I couldn't hear him if he tried to speak.
Even with what you say when you put the
AirPods with the noise cancellation setting on there, because it
takes all the background and everything.
Oh, okay.
The noise outside of the earbuds or earpods, whatever it extracts. Okay. So knowing that she was having that issue or whatever, we don't have any earplugs with us. So I was like, just use those or whatever for this next leg or whatever, and see how that feels.
I did it for a little bit, but they also get a little uncomfortable. They feel like they kind of fall out after a certain amount of time. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was something I could deal with.
So do you on the bike, do you have a routine, say every so many minutes I shift from one side to the other side and I stretch my legs? You know, do you have a routine that you do, or you just try to figure it out as you go?
Figure out as I go.
As you
Because
go?
there are some days I feel fine.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost like I've gotten broken into being in that position. Other times hey, this hurts really bad. I need to shift, or I need to stretch my legs out. There are times I'll put my legs on his legs.
Okay. That's interesting.
Feet up, I got a foot on my knees. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
He
Touch
tells
your
me
legs.
to,
It's
so
like,
hey.
yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Because it's like being in a car. You can only be in one position for so long before you get
True.
to stand up and stretch. So it's similar.
What about helmet? What kind of helmet do you wear?
They're the Simpson, was it Simpson Bandits?
Hmm.
The modular face on.
Are they pretty light, or is it?
Yeah, they're on the lighter side.
Yeah.
They made a little bit better too. The Simpsons were more of a fad. That just the look, design, whatever, was nice, but it's probably not the greatest helmet. It works.
Well, the reason I asked that is because, you know, when you're riding just a few hundred miles, you know, you wear all kind of helmets, you know, and the weight doesn't affect you. But what I found is a really, really light helmet. Now it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you the shoey,
Yeah,
because the module is really, really light. And you know, she brought something up to my attention. When you're not used to riding that kind of distance, that does put a lot on your neck, man, because you're just not used to that. You know, and men, we probably typically gonna have a little bit bigger, stronger neck than a lady would. But yeah, you have, when you buy these helmets, man, you have to take a look at this and like, okay, I'm gonna look really, really good, or I'm gonna have to kind of suit myself for the ride. And those are things we learn as we go along with this thing. Am I right, friends? This thing you just pick up.
sure.
You know,
sure.
yeah. I see K Solo laughing at us.
Right?
You know, whatever. Okay. So okay, nothing really too bad, nothing too serious in Houston. New Orleans, anything to talk about going through New Orleans? Anything at all?
No,
The food.
the food.
Y'all was in there.
Yeah, it was our best food stop. You know, we had
Okay.
good stuff out there. My club bro GQ had put us onto a spot.
Man, GQ don't be playing, do he?
Yeah, he gonna be playing. That's my boy right there.
Yeah, he know all the get down spots. Yeah, shout out to GQ, man. The coldest vlogger on the planet, man, bar none. If you haven't checked his channel out, just GQ on
He's
YouTube,
at a
man.
Peace Army.
Peace Army, my man doing his thing there. Matter of fact, I hung out with him this summer too, his Peace Army event, his first inaugural one that he did in, I want to say it was in Slidell, Louisiana, man.
Yeah,
And we ate good in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so we get to New Orleans, we hang out, no problems, no issues. Let's take it from this last leg in. Let's go, we'll call this the Panhandle edition. And this is really more from, let's say, Mississippi, taking it all the way into Jacksonville. What are some particular things? Because you guys came in on the Panhandle late at night, am I correct?
Yeah. Shoot, by the time we crossed into Florida, it was getting ready. The sun was getting ready to start setting, and that last leg probably was my coldest moment of the whole trip.
That was, you.
Yeah,
Mine was New Mexico.
man. I wasn't expecting Florida to be that cold.
It's a wet cold out there because you're so close to the water.
Yeah, it was different. It was.
And then you got the cold, and then you got the warm, and it's just a wet get down up there in the Panhandle.
Yeah, boy. I mean, my knees were stiff getting to the gas stop, getting off the road, and I got to put my pants on. I didn't have any of the gear on coming because the weather felt fine. But man, we got to a point I had to plug in. And I was thankful I had that equipment with me.
Yeah.
Roads were clear. Can't knock that. Roads were clear. Traffic was fine.
No weather, no rain.
We didn't run into any bad weather or anything like that, but it got cold, boy.
It's wide open back there, but it is extremely dark.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Extremely dark. And I'm gonna be honest, man. When
Deer season too. This time of year, yeah, them jokers coming out.
when you shot me the glimpse, I normally have like little triggers that I'll sit and I'll say, "Are you gonna go all the way, or you gonna get?" That's my way of saying, "Man, I really don't want you to do this." You know, the wife asked me, she say, "Are they coming in tonight?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "It's dark out there." I said, "Yeah." I said, I wanted you guys to hold up in Tallahassee, but I knew I ain't gonna even say it. Frizz he ain't hold up. He coming all the way through this bad boy. I think it was the last time I checked with you that night, and I said, "Well, we'll see." And I eventually saw where you were moving. I said, he ain't gonna be denied.
I picked up on your hint. Your hint. That's why I responded to what I said. I said, "I'm going to the stop tonight." I see
Yeah,
what you're doing,
yeah. I do. I mean, because it's not my job to tell people what to do. It's your ride. It's everybody's ride. Typically, there's some things I'll kind of hint. I'm like, I don't really know, but ultimately, the rider knows what the rider knows.
And it's a big-
Nobody knows.
You're concerned.
What,
Shows
yeah,
you're
but I'm
concerned.
just concerned. Now, if it's a situation where I know it's a first time rider going across, I'm normally a little bit more how would I say? I don't know. I'm a little bit more advice driven
Yeah.
because it's things that you just don't know about that stretch of highway. And what's those saying? What you don't know really can hurt you. But I knew in this case you guys were going to be in good hands because I knew the experience level. I knew coming across the panhandle back there. Is really dark. The roads are really wide until you get to Tallahassee. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get past 75, 95 corridor, it gets a little bit etchy back there because you got Osceola Forest.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? Osceola Forest is
all
where the
that
forest
was
is in the
dark.
center.
Yeah, it was all that was dark coming through there. Like by the time we got to any of that, the sun had been set.
Yeah.
Shoot, really, the sun set on us not too far outside of Pensacola. Yeah, so that the whole trip in Florida was at night.
Hey, so okay, Lil Nat, what you thinking? You back there and it's dark, and Bambi is running around back there, and your husband ain't gonna be denied. We get into Jayville, damn it, we get into Jayville. What you thinking? Are you just like, yeah,
I think I was just trying to stay up.
yeah?
There's so many.
Now, do you
You don't realize that you're falling asleep until your head's not.
yeah? Do you ever do?
Helmet up, man.
Hey, tell me the truth. Ain't nobody listening. We in a trust tree. Do you ever fall asleep on the back of the bike?
Yes.
Beating the back of my helmet up.
I think it was like this one. I think it was in New Mexico. I was freezing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna deal with it. We only have 2 hours to go. That hour in, I had to tell him, look, I need that heated jacket. I can't do this. It's to my core. So the moment I plug it in, I start warming up, and then I fall out.
Yeah, that heated suit, it'll do it to you.
That goes back to the equipment. So, like I said, we had got her suit not too long before the trip started, and hers was just the one.
It had a liner, but
It's
it
got
was
the liners, the warm liner, but it's not a plug-in suit. It was just pretty much a snowsuit, but it was mesh, so it allowed a lot of wind to come through.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a point, like she said, she got really cold, so I took the liner out of my jacket or whatever. I didn't take my hot wire suit. I just had the liner in the Gerber jacket. I took that out, gave her that, and allowed her. She was able to plug in with that and stay warm. So coming back, the both of us was freezing. I had enough layers on top where I could just put all my clothes on and stuff like that. It was cool. But my legs, I was able to plug my legs into the top that I gave her.
Yeah.
We had one working suit, and we were fine.
Yeah. Hey, man, y'all made it do what it had to do,
Make it
man. So let's do this, man. We'll We make it into Jacksonville. It's around what, about 10, 11 o'clock? No, it's later than
I
that.
think it was
It's
11.
about close to midnight, right? Okay, so we get into Jacksonville safe and sound, man. We make it to Stockton Street. 643 Stockton Street is the last exit on the I-10.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do this. We'll do the last segment. We'll say the good, the bad, the ugly, and what is the takeaway that you would want the audience to take from your ride. And because Frizz, you've done this before, I'm gonna start with Lynette. Let's how you feeling? You know, look what you just accomplished. How are you feeling? What would be some takeaways that you would want to share with us from this ride?
This particular ride, I think we were blessed to have good weather because it could have been worse. I think we got sprinkled on, but the weather was great. It really was a recipe for a good trip despite the cold weather. I personally would rather be cold than hot. So really the bad or ugly portion of it was really just when it got cold. But that's when you know you have to prepare for those moments. Hey, it's going to get really cold. Do we have the gear for it? And then you have to know who you're riding with. The person that you're with. Do you know how they're going to be from morning to night for a week? Are you going to be able to stay on this trip the entire time? So you definitely have to do smaller trips to prepare for it if you haven't done so before. And then trust the person that's riding. Do you trust them? Are you going to cause an issue because of something that they're doing that you don't like? You have to know that you can't do that.
Man, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. I gotta do this. I gotta go here. Man, I gotta give her a Dom DeMarco, man. Outstanding. You know, I get giddy, man, when I hear a couple speak like that. I really do, because this really is a social experiment of being able to trust each other, to being able to communicate to each other, to have confidence in each other, to understand each other's, hey, no matter what I ask her or ask him, I'm looking at him. I know what's going on, or I'm looking at her and I know she's tired. I know she's hungry. I know it's time for us to stop. And putting my ego to the side sometime, as in this case, the husband, and say, no, we're going to do this because this was best for us. What's best for my wife is what's best for us. And I love it, man, because I always say this. One or two things going to happen when couples go across the country like this. You know what it is, right? You're going to get tighter.
Yeah.
or yeah, you're going to have to come home and fix a lot of problems that you probably knew you had before you got on the road. Is that fair?
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment.
Holy moly.
And
But
also, if you sign up for it, just do it. Because if you say you're going to do it and then halfway through you're like, hey, this isn't for me, you need to know that before you go on a trip like this.
How
You
about
just have to
that?
do it.
How about that? God bless it. Man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited and so happy for you for making this ride, because I know it's going to open the window up to a lot of bigger and greater things. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys do a tandem ride to Prudhoe Bay.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You say, I don't know about that, homie. We might do Key West or something.
Yeah, we do
I'll go to Key
West.
West.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Now, I'll tell you this. I would never attempt a tandem ride to Prudhoe Bay on a road glide. But you give me that Pan Am, I might try it.
You give it a try?
Hell yeah, I give it a try.
Man, Well, I tell you what, friends, give us your takeaway from this ride, man. You're a veteran in this thing, man. What would be some things that you would want a rider to know about this ride?
It's doable. It's very doable, and again, like I'm blessed to have her by my side and her understand what riding is to me, and her seeing the enjoyment that I get out of it, and then being able to experience what I've experienced previously. being able to share that with her and her enjoy it was the biggest part for me.
Yo, Sarge, I thought you were an outlaw. I am. I'm just smooth with it.
My bad.
You good? You good?
Finish your thought, my guy.
But just from her initial willingness to do the ride at all was like, oh yeah, this is about to be dope, you know. And I told her, I said, if it ever gets to the point where we're out there, and you just feel like you don't want to ride all the way back to the East Coast or whatever, I mean, we stop at an airport. I send you back on a plane. I just ride back by myself. Like, there's options if the whole trip doesn't work out, you know. But she stuck it out, man. She's a trooper. Like I said, she's been on everything that I've had that was two wheels. So it just felt natural.
That's what's up, my guy. So we gonna say this, man. Big Frizz, Lil Nat, our second couple ever in the history of the I-10 to the N Tandem Riders, man. Let's do this. Let's give them a round of applause. Hey, I want to say this, family. Thank you guys so much for caring enough to share your ride with us. And really, this is what Iron Elite is all about, man. It's each one teach one, teaching each other, man, in real time how to do what we do in order to make us the best motorcycle riders on the planet, you dig? And it's because of folks like you, man, we're going to be better riders. I guarantee you that. There's no fluff to this thing, man. When you come on this platform, we know you had to do one thing. You had to ride your motorcycle. It ain't comfortable. It ain't sexy. But I tell you what, it's the greatest feeling in the world. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
Oh, like you said, it's not sexy. That's another thing that a woman has to prepare for. You're not going to look your best.
Man, this whole trip, I gotta get my head.
Hey, hair gonna be this way and that away. Hey,
So
you just gonna have to
embrace
do.
that part for sure.
Yeah, you gonna. Hey, lips gonna be chapped from time to time.
Oh, and the sun. That's
Yeah.
another thing. I had to get something to cover my face because I started to burn after so long.
That's
And
true.
even his face got really dark. He thought it got burned. So you have to prepare for the elements.
That desert sun different.
Yeah. That desert sun, it does, man. It'll do me serious. I hide from that thing. It's a little different than the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
A lot different. It's like being in a microwave versus on the East Coast. We're like being in a boiling pot.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So what's next after this, family? What's next? Anything next on the horizon?
Tandem wise, I don't know. You have to stay tuned at the beginning of the year. You know, like Kodak, the most hated, said, riding season over.
Man, if you don't knock it off. If you don't knock it off. Hey, so let's do this, Riz, before we let you go, man. Talk to me about that the plaque I see behind you, about the business, man. What we got going on in North Carolina?
Oh man, it's business as usual. You know, just doing these roofs and restoration work. I'm actually, as soon as we get off of here, I got to go do a little repair. But business is steady, man. I'm blessed, and I appreciate everything that's come my way thus far.
Shout out the company one more time for us, brother.
Vertex Roofing and Restoration.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, again, family, thank you so much, man. They did it. I-10 to the N, the Tandem Edition, Couples Edition, man. So, stay tuned. Hopefully, we're going to get some more couples that's going to do this. We're going to encourage some folks to do it. And, family, any last words before I let y'all go?
I want to see them out there. Let's go. Where they at?
Facts. Get out and get it going, man. So, in the meantime, in between time, man, y'all keep it motorcycling. Mad love, family. Thank you so much. God bless. Okay, there you have it, man. It's the Tandem edition of I-10 to the N. Big Frizz, Lil Nat, man. did their thing on the I-10 to the end. They did it in October. There's some things you need to know about going across the country in October versus going across in June. Hopefully we've covered quite a bit of things today to make you guys, again, more informed riders for doing your cross-country ride. Thank you to everybody for coming on with us and spending some time with us today. I know you could be anywhere doing anything, but you spent a little time with us on the Iron Elite podcast. So there's a couple things I want to let you guys know about what we got coming up. Prepare. We have the Iron Elite event, February 7th and 8th, paying tribute to Black History Month event here in Jacksonville, Florida, at Adamak Harley Davidson Bay Meadows Boulevard, Jacksonville, Florida. At this event also, we will be celebrating and presenting those awards for the Titan to Reef and Piper, man. So we're going to be presenting those Titan awards to those guys on the 8th, as well as giving out some legendary awards as well to go along with it that weekend. Host hotel information is in the Iron Elite group page. It's in the pent up section and the featured section. If you can't find it, inbox me, let me know, and I'll send you that information. Now, I'm just going to say this, man. Host hotel is filled up. There could be some rooms available also still left, but you got to go ahead and check, man. Sarge is not in the hotel business, man. I'm not going to be doing it all. But if you can't get a hotel room at the Holiday Inn Express, right next door to it is a Fairfield Marriott. I mean, they share the same parking lot. So hit that hotel up, see if they got anything available. I'll try to put on the group page the address to the Fairfield Marriott hotel. I do not have any group room rates for that. You know, it just kind of is what it is. If I can get something later on, we'll give it a try. But check out the host hotel first to see if there's anything possibly left for the weekend of the 7th and 8th of February, 2025 is the Iron Elite event, man. So make your plans accordingly, man. I can't wait to see everybody. I cannot wait to celebrate some over 100 riders as well who've completed the I-10 to the end here in these 2024, right here in this year. So shout out to everybody who support the program. Through your support, we're able to grow this program in a way that it's effective and it's useful to our motorcycle community. All donations that you contribute to this program, to the podcast, we put back into the program, whether it's into the podcast equipment, whether it's into awards that we do for our events, or whether it's to whatever we do. Everything that comes into the program is used to support the program, because the program, again, is for us. It's for us. So I think that's about all. I don't think I have anything else to go. Stay tuned. We'll have some more shows coming up here shortly. But other than that, man, in the meantime, in between time, man, let's keep it motorcycling. You dig?